Hey everyone, it's Jelly Cards, and you're listening to the Jelly Cards Podcast. We've been collecting since we were kids. Whether it's Pokemon cards or sports cards, being a collector at heart always comes first. You can listen to all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you are enjoying these topics, please give us a rating and a follow on both Spotify and Apple, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, if you are ready, we are ready. Sit back, relax, and as always, keep spreading the love of the hobby from your friends at Jelly Cards.
It's been a long time since it was just the two of us, man.
Really long time, unfortunately.
Like almost too long. Well, yeah, you got some adult stuff going on in your life, but I appreciate you joining the podcast again. Just the two of us, man.
Just the two of us.
Like the old days.
Like the old days, like the start of the Jelly Cards podcast.
You know where I used to, did I ever tell you where I used to sit when we first started doing the podcast?
When we didn't do any video?
Yeah, when it was just audio.
Where did you used to sit?
Just so it was very quiet and I would get the best like audio. I would sit in my closet.
Oh, God.
On the floor.
Great.
I would sit in the closet on the floor because we just used the app on our phone, and I would just have my headphones plugged into my phone, and then I would have the phone just sitting on the floor with the recording going, and I would have my notebook with my notes, and then that's how I did it. That's how we started off.
No light.
Well, yeah, I had the light on, but that's how I did because I'm like, well, I was also, we started this podcast. We've never done it before. I have like glossophobia, man. I do not like public speaking or anything like that. So it was very out of my element to be doing something like this. So I was also extremely nervous, and I didn't want my girlfriend to be hearing me doing this, I was like, I can't have anybody hear me except for John.
Except for John. Yeah.
So exactly. I would just sit in the room doing the podcast. And then eventually I moved to I would use my desk. I have this nice, beautiful desk that she bought me so I could do all the podcast stuff, all our social media content. And here I was just sitting on the floor, just lurking in the closet.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think for one of the ones that we did, I did the same thing. It was probably one of the early MLB Hall of Fame episodes. I had printed out a bunch of Carlos Beltran stats, and I was looking at A-Rod stats and Manny stats, and I had that paper inside the closet because I was like, I don't know. I read either you sent it or somebody told me if you do it in a closed space, it's better for the audio, less echo, all that stuff. So I did that too. But it's funny to think that Jason's girlfriend just comes home. Jason's in the closet. Just
a lot of times she was just sitting in the living room, man.
Oh,
she was sitting in the living room, and I would just be just like a troll.
Yeah,
I could just be like a troll. Just yeah. That's it. And now we got,
look how far we've come.
Look how far we've come, man. Video podcast, man. It's awesome.
It is nice.
It's great.
But like you said, I still get nervous. I still get nervous when we do it, especially the video recording.
Yeah.
Just don't want to screw anything up, make myself look like a total jackass.
You'll definitely make yourself look like a jackass. That's for sure.
Of course. Yeah. It's given.
I got, brand new mic with cool LED lighting.
Yeah. Nice mic. Nice shirt too. What's up with that? Yeah, you got
I am trying to tell you guys. I've been trying to tell you guys from the beginning. I just love sports. I don't care what team I collect. I don't care what the team is wearing. I have my beloved teams that I love and support no matter what. But I am a true sports fan at heart. I will just wear whatever. And don't rip on this shirt because my sister and my brother-in-law took a trip out to Boston. And I said, hey, while you're in Boston, bring me back a Red Sox shirt. So she brought me back a Red Sox shirt.
Yeah, your sister and her husband are great people. You're just an idiot.
They also got me an Oakland Athletics shirt when they were out in Oakland. So you want to rip on them? You want to rip on me for having an Oakland Athletics shirt?
Yeah, I do.
Why? Okay. Whatever. But yeah, so this is the shirt that she got me, man. And yeah, I just like wearing sports stuff, man. It doesn't matter what the team is. I could sit down on the couch and I could turn on whatever game. It doesn't matter, college, rugby. I know nothing about rugby, but I'll turn it on because I just like sports. I just like having sports in the background. I'll watch whatever college baseball game, anything. It doesn't matter.
I like that. I agree
Yeah,
with you
it
there.
doesn't matter, man. I just like sports, man. It's just fun to watch. And then
Okay.
I just, I'll collect whatever shirts or I'll wear whatever shirts and that's just me, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mis-
let's get into some hobby talk cuz I don't want to get you all riled up already.
Oh yeah,
We're 4 5 minutes into the podcast and then you're already going to get riled up.
I'm always riled up. It's my
But
secret cat.
I do want to I like I texted you in a group chat. I kind of just wanted to wing this episode. I think the best episodes that we've had are the ones that we don't have just all these notes written down and we're trying to like look up stats and stuff. I think it's best when we can just talk hobby talk and just, speak from the heart, man.
Mm-hmm.
And let's speak from the heart cuz I want to start off with this, okay? Yo, eBay, I'm speaking directly to you, eBay. You got to get your shit together, okay?
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Because I am done with buyers winning auctions, not paying, and eBay just, you want to cancel and relist it? All right, well, sure, cancel and relist it. And then it sells for half of what it went for the first time. It's the worst thing. I don't know how eBay has not changed their policies or anything like that to where if I try to go make an offer on a card, I have to put my payment info down. In order to send an offer to a seller, I have to put my payment info in. And then if they accept it, they automatically just charge me. Tell me why eBay can't do the same thing to buyers who their first bid on an auction don't have to put their payment info in.
Completely agree.
And then whatever other bid you want to put on, your card info's already on there. And then if you win it, they charge you.
Yes.
That's how it should be. They should no longer be allowing buyers to win auctions and then either refusing to pay and they just don't pay at all, or being able to message you and go, hey, well, my bad. Oh no, I accidentally bid on this. And then I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was this player, but it actually was that player. Like, that shouldn't happen. 99-cent auctions, man.
Yeah.
I just had one of my own personal cards sell for 99 cents. The buyer messaged me and goes, whoops, my bad. You can't buy a 99-cent card plus shipping. I don't know. And that's my rant. It's just
With you,
because,
man.
it's my rant.
No,
I
it's a
can't.
good rant. I've said the same thing. I messaged the group chat. It's total dog shit. Absolute horse shit. That if somebody is going to put an auction on eBay, and now when you list cards on eBay, it's required that you have to put the category that the item that you're listing is. So clearly there's a category for like sports cards, trading card, TCG card. So that exists. That tells me that eBay can go into their algorithm and say, hey, if you're going to bid on a sports/TCG card, you have to commit to buying that card. And like we talked about on a previous episode, not only does that provide seller protection, but it also prevents shill bidding. Huge, huge issue in eBay's like sports card, anything you want to call it, like selling history. Everybody's always concerned about shill bidding. And if you don't know what shill bidding is, essentially, let's say that there's a card for auction and you put in a bid for $20 and the starting bid is at like 99 cents. And then you notice that there's like maybe 15 bids and the card is up to like $18. And then you go and check the bidding and it doesn't tell you the username, but it tells you their feedback amount. And usually if you see a feedback amount of 0, that means that somebody is bidding up the card to see where your maximum is. And if eBay starts implementing this rule that if you're going to bid on a card, you need to be prepared to pay for it.
Yeah.
That'll eliminate that, because it won't eliminate it completely, but it'll at least deter people, because they'll
Yeah.
shy away
Mhm.
from, like, okay, if I go over this person's hypothetical maximum, then I'm screwed, because what if they don't come back and bid again, and
Yep.
now I have to pay for the card?
Yep.
So yeah, man, I'm pissed. We just had it happen for Jelly, happen for me again on my personal page. So it makes no sense to me. eBay needs to know that they are like the number one selling spot for sports cards, maybe even memorabilia, but probably not. But for sure, sports cards and probably TCG cards.
Yeah.
And they need to start acting like it. They need to start giving seller protection the way they give buyer protection. And on top of that, there needs to be negative buyer feedback.
Yeah.
It
100%.
pisses me off that
Mhm.
I can't leave negative feedback for somebody who does exactly what you said.
Yep.
They win an auction, immediately request the cancel, and their excuse, or their, I guess, reasoning is that, hey, my son got a hold of my phone and he won this auction. I have no intention on buying it, so either cancel it or I'm not going to pay. So
Yep.
BS, man. Shouldn't happen. I should be able to give that person negative feedback.
Well, you as a seller should know what buyers are not credible, and like what buyers are like. I don't want this person bidding on my auctions, because if this person wins it, they have a history of not paying for the
Exactly.
auctions that they win. So I should be able to then be like, no, or if they do bid on it, I should have, as the buyer, the right to like reject their bid.
Oh, is this seller, you mean?
As as a seller, I should be able to look down on a list and see, okay, who's bidding on a card, or who's bidding on whatever you have listed on eBay, and then I should be able to then go to that person's page, look at them, see their their feedback, or if they're at 100%. What if they're at 80 something percent? Let me read the feedback. Doesn't pay, doesn't pay, doesn't pay. Then I should be able to go into my auction and go, rejected. They'll get an email that says, this seller has rejected your bid.
I think that's a great idea too. Anything to like start getting rid of this nonsense, I'm for it.
Yeah.
At least do something that tells me that, hey, all right, we heard all you sports card sellers, Pokemon card sellers, Magic card sellers, everybody involved in the hobby. We heard you. We're going to get rid of this BS that people are doing on auctions. They've already done it for buy it now and best offer.
Yep.
So what the hell are we waiting for?
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit, man.
I did bid on a auction recently, though, that made me put my card info in prior to doing the auction. Now, I don't know if it's for certain like sellers, or maybe, I don't know, maybe at a certain point you you get that option, like if you're a top seller on eBay, because like I look at it and say, well, how does Probstein like
Right.
handle it? How does DC Sports, PC Sports Cards, how does PSA now handle that? Because I'm assuming Probstein, now granted, Probstein and all those other sellers that I just listed and spoke about, they have the reputation and they have the following that more than likely, I would guess, that's probably not happening to them. If you're bidding on a Probstein, auction, you probably have the intent of, I want this card, and if I win, I'm a buy it.
Right.
But it has to happen
every
sure. Once in a while. I would assume that they, hey, unfortunately, especially because those are consignment based, though they are selling that card for somebody else. And now they have to go back to that seller and say, hey, unfortunately, they didn't buy it. And so now I have to relist your card again. And like you spoke, we just had that happen with a Jelly card with Chandler Simpson auto. That's now, that we just sold again on our page. And it sold for half of what it sold for the first time. Exactly. That's tough. And that, when you're operating a business and you're operating a card business and you're now losing half of what you just like, that's a major blow to us, an upcoming business who needs that money to then be able to buy other things. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's my little rant. I was very upset this morning. I really think eBay needs to get their crap together because I can't wait for the day that we're out
Yeah,
of there,
I
man.
know. I completely agree.
You
And that's
know.
why people are leaving. That's another thing to say. Like,
Hey,
just to end the rant there.
PWCC went,
Yeah,
you want to accuse me of shill bidding? All right, we're gone. We're
exactly.
gone.
If people
So,
want to like play games and do all this BS, and then on top of that, I got to pay all these eBay fees, all these eBay taxes, all that crap.
yep.
Oh my God, another. All right,
I
sorry.
got to give my own a
Yeah,
cut to eBay who just
yeah.
screwed me on an auction.
Here's another personal thing. I just sold something on eBay for $650.
Nice.
Six hundred
Good
fifty
job,
bucks.
man.
The total return that went to my bank account, 550. I lost $100 in fees slash I don't know what the hell else
Wow.
getting this stuff sold. So why on earth would I stay on eBay if this is what's going to keep happening? And then I have
Yeah.
to deal with crap like that. And then,
Yep.
like I said, I had another card that sold. Person didn't pay for it. I had to relist it. Lost money. Sure, I still sold the card. That's going to be eBay's argument. Hey, you still sold your card. But no, that's not how this
99% of
works.
the time, you're going to lose money when you relist it.
Yeah,
There was
exactly.
one time where I sold one of my personal Pokemon cards and it actually sold for more than
Nice.
what it originally did. So I was like, "Hey, you know what? Hey, thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate
exactly.
for not
Yeah, we're
buying
cool
the
now.
card, but
Yeah, we like
yeah,
those
we
ones.
cool. We cool."
Ugh,
But yeah, we can move away from the eBay stuff because that's kind of pissed me off too much. But
me too.
there is a lot of other hobby things that I want to talk to you about because you know me, I tend to go down these really deep rabbit holes of like when I'm watching like the YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I kind of want to get into some of like kind of your opinion on the current state of the hobby and how you feel about it overall, how you approach buying cards now versus back in 2020 when we formed Jelly. But let's get into some show and tell.
Show and tell.
And I want to shout out a fellow Cubby
Oh,
making
God.
his major league debut today, Moises Ballesteros.
Hell
And so, John, what you got over there, man?
yeah.
Let me
So,
see.
so the
What you got?
the card that I have is a personal card, actually. Personal card that I told you before we started recording. I think I bought it at the Rosemont show, the Chicago Spectacular. I don't know which year, what time. Must have been in the past 2 years. Maybe it was 2023. So this is the 2023 Bowman Sapphire Aqua Auto in a PSA 10 of Moises
There he is.
Ballesteros.
There he
Chunky,
is.
chunky
I didn't
boy.
even check his stats. How did he do today?
He was 0 for 2 before we started recording. I don't know what he's doing now, but he had
Cubs number 4 ranked prospect.
yeah, he was. I think they said he was like the back-to-back like minor league player of the year for the Cubs too. But anyway, yeah, I bought that card.
0 for 3.
Yeah, I know he grounded
BP
out.
looked good though. I was watching online. I was watching him take BP.
Oh, nice.
Ball was flying, man.
Dang, that's awesome. I don't know if they did that.
And I'll give, you know what? We'll cut Eric some slack for not being able to record with us, but he did go to the game to be able to see the debut, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah, he's forgiven.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
is
was
forgiven.
my show and tell card. One of the few times that my show and tell card is a card that I actually am selling, and I have it listed on eBay right now. Or actually,
That's
yeah,
your own. You said that's your own personal one, right?
Yeah. I don't remember what I bought it for at the Spectacular, but I just knew that Moises was a good prospect, and
Yeah.
he's a
Eric was
Cub
always
too.
big on him.
Yeah.
Eric
So,
has always been big on Moises, so
what do you got? What do you got, Jason? You got a Red Sox card?
got a nice Alex Bregman.
Oh my God, are you
No, I
serious?
don't. No,
Oh,
I
thank
don't have
God.
Alex Bregman. So, speaking of when we were talking about the first episode of the Jelly Cards podcast, just kind of reminiscing, there was a player that I spoke about, I believe, because that was right before I think we went to the Spectacular,
That's
or it
right.
was right before no, it was right before we went to the Spectacular. And I spoke about a player that I wanted to look at when we went to the show. Do you remember who that player was?
Damn. What's the sport?
Basketball.
Oh God, it's got to be France.
It's got to be France.
It's got to be France.
It's
Oh
got to be
man,
France.
dude,
Yeah.
holy
My
crap!
my Franz Wagner auto, man, from Mosaic. Rookie auto, PSA 10. Yep. That's
When did you?
honestly, I got this maybe like a year ago or so, maybe like over a year ago. So yeah, this is a 2021 Mosaic rookie Franz Wagner auto PSA 10. So yeah, this is probably one of my favorite cards, probably one of my best cards. I'm really hoping that Franz does really well. I mean, here's the thing about it, and I said it originally. I think Franz was going. I think he's a great talent. I think he's going to be one of the best shooters in the league. He's still very young. I think he might be like only like 23 or 24. I think he is pretty young still, and he's on a very up and coming Orlando Magic team right now. Banchero's on the team too. Both of them played really well in their short kind of run in the playoffs. I think it's the second year in a row that Orlando has made the playoffs. But if you looked at the like the point scoring for the playoffs for that first round, both of them were in the top 10 for scoring. But Wagner overall for the season was top 15. So he's really starting to make that jump into that kind of elite level scoring that I really think he can get to. So I'm really hoping that maybe Orlando Magic can make a really big key pickup in the offseason. They kind of need just like I feel like they're like one player away from being like able to compete against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, the Knicks, teams like that. So, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's it right there.
It's a
Franz
hell of a
Wagner
card.
auto, man.
Rookie auto, PSA 10.
Rookie auto PSA 10, man. It's
It's a
gone
good
down in
purchase.
price. Sounds about right for the cards that I buy, but
Yeah, same.
it's okay, man. But here and I think that's like a perfect segue into one of the topics that I wanted to get into because, obviously every time I text in the group every time I talk about Roth cards when I watch like one of his videos or if I watch King of Cards on YouTube. What they, watching them approach the hobby and watching them approach card shows, which obviously, okay, they're not us and we are not them. Like in the sense that we don't have the following that they do. We don't have the cash flow that they do. We can't spend the money that they are spending. However, I like watching their approach to buying cards because you kind of have your head wrapped around, like, oh, you need rookie cards. You need to look at all these rookie players. We try to look at, prospect list top 100. We're trying to find these prospects that, no one's really heard of because it's affordable, their prices are low. But, when they approach the hobby and when they're buying into players, it's like they buy everybody they know is going to sell versus taking the risk on a unknown player out of the top 100 and hoping that player jumps in into the rankings and then people start to kind of notice them, but we bought low and hoping for that, selling high. But it's like they already buy high, but then I still feel like they sell high because they're buying LeBron. They're buying Kobe cards. They're buying Mahomes. They're buying, I know Roth Cards buys a lot of Jaden Daniels cards. And like they're already buying into high markets, but I feel like they buy into the players that they know no matter what's going to happen, they're going to be able to sell that card high. And I just kind of look at it, and obviously this Franz Wagner card was not like $1,000 card. I spent less than $200 on the card, but it makes me think when I approach it that I might maybe have to kind of lean towards maybe, kind of getting out of my comfort zone of, sticking to like those $50, diamonds in the roughs that we like to talk about. And maybe I need to start spending a little bit more money, or maybe Jelly needs to kind of spend a little bit more and focus on those like top players so we don't fall victim to the, oh, this player didn't work out and now we're out of this money. I don't like, so I don't know. What's your opinion on it? I don't even know. Do you even watch like Roth cards? I know you were big on King of Cards. I know you
Yeah,
watched a lot of him.
yeah. I see King of Cards all the time, mostly because I'm like the only one who handles our Facebook page, and every time I go into Facebook, somehow he pops up on the timeline, and his videos are like, or reels, I guess they call them, really short videos of him wheeling and dealing at shows. I like his videos a lot. He seems like a really cool guy. Seems like a fellow hobbyist, which is awesome. And I noticed it too. I noticed that he's always buying Brady, Mahomes, like Rogers numbered patches, like low numbered stuff, autos, high end cards, like you're saying. And I love it. It's fun to see. It's the kind of stuff that gets you addicted to cards, gets you really interested because you see these high numbers. You're like, hey, hell yeah, I want to make a $5,000 sports card deal. Let's do it. So my opinion on it, I think this is going to turn into like an impromptu jelly meeting, but I think that if you want to be serious about cards and making cards like your life and your earning or living, I guess is the right word, you need to not only buy those cards, but you need to buy so many more cards, including the cards that we usually stick to. Like, I don't imagine that Roth Cards and King of Cards, Card Collector 2, like anybody else, like what's Cards HQ, Jeff, all these people, they don't hold on to cards for a long time.
No.
And if they are holding on to cards for a long time, it's because they PC them. It's something that they're putting in their collection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And honestly, probably the cards that they are PCing are probably going to go up too because they know.
I was about to say there's probably there's a buyer out there that's
Exactly. So anyway, they're not holding cards for a long time. And I feel like us as Jelly Cards, we need to start doing that. We need to start buying more cards and selling more cards. And most importantly, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, you need to be comfortable taking a quote unquote loss on a card.
Yeah.
Even if that card is a lot of money. Like, let's say we buy a card for $1,000. If we sell it for $800, we lost $200, but I don't care. We got to move on. We got to figure out a way to get that $200 back, or hell, double down, go buy an even more expensive card and hope that one goes up even more.
Yeah.
Because that's just how the game works. I hate how sometimes we say it's just straight up gambling. It is gambling, but I just hate using it in that sense. It's more so like focused gambling, or whatever term I used before, because we are not just picking some random player and saying, oh, this guy might become a MLB MVP, this guy might become an NBA MVP. No, we're picking players that we do research on. We're picking players that we know are good at their sport, good at hockey, good at basketball, good at football, and we expect their markets to grow based on their talent. So the gambling part of it comes in the whole like, oh, they could get hurt, they could have a bad year, who knows, anything could happen. Yeah, I get that. And I think that's why you see Roth Cards and King of Cards pick up players that are established and like kind of cemented their legacy inside their sport. But I went on a winded rant there, but I love their videos. Their videos are great content. It gets people's attention because they are buying thousands of dollars worth of cards, and then they're probably flipping them within a week, a month, probably less than 2 months is my guess. I wish they would make a video like that. I wish that they would make a video like, hey, this is when I bought the card, and this is what when I sold the card, and this is how much I made, or this is how much I lost. Because it creates more transparency. And I try to stay away from those videos because of that feeling that like it makes me feel like I'm doing a bad job at Jelly. It makes me feel like I'm not doing enough for Jelly Cards. Like I should be,
man.
Yeah. It makes me feel like I need to go to eBay and watch all those cards I texted this morning and buy all of them.
Yeah, it's tough, and that's why I said, man, I watch those videos and I turn around and I'm instantly on eBay, and next thing you know, I'm looking at like BGS 9s, like with an auto 10, but the card's like $400. And I'm like,
Right.
like I should be buying this. Like this is what I should be buying. Instead, like I'm looking at a SGC 10, like hollow rated rookie, of Cade Cunningham that sold for like $40.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, that's just, yeah, sure. Like it might get you money, but are we going to operate a business on a $20 profit? Like, yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. That's what I really like about Roth Cards too, is because there are actually cards that he will buy in his videos. And then he already knows the buyer he wants to like show, try to sell the card to. And there are times where he'll talk like he's like, "Oh, I already know I need this card because I know somebody else wants it." Or people message him and be like, "Yo, like I just
I'm
pulled
looking for
this.
this.
I just pulled this out of 10 Kaboom of Jaden Daniels gold. You want to buy it?" And then like he's meeting up. And I'm telling you right now, and who knows? I remember seeing a post that somebody made about Roth cards, and they were kind of ripping on him and like ripping on his content, being basically saying like, "Oh, that's not his money. Like he's not spending his own money." Which who knows? I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, the guy's just dropping like every deal's almost like 7,500.
Damn.
I mean, he's dropping like, I mean, he's trying to make big deals. But here's the thing though, but then he's also selling in the video too. Like he always, I think he probably, gets to like meet up with like a, fellow hobbyist and then be able to like set up at their table, I'm assuming, at the show. Or they probably have their own table and he's just walking around buying. I mean, he's always, it's like every single month he's posting content from some other card show he went to. And it looks as if he's dropping like 15 to 20K every single show. So granted, yes, I don't know. I don't know how I would love to know how fast they're moving cards. Like you just bought this at this show. How long does it take you to sell it? Like, are you selling it within the week? Are you selling within the month? Are you hoping that by, 6 months, I don't want this card anymore? And going back to what you were saying about like cards that they're buying and that that they could be piecing as well. His last post that he just had, they were at I think it was the Toronto card show
Yep.
that they were at,
Just happened.
and he had to where he was looking at two different cards at the seller, and one of the cards was this Wayne Gretzky numbered out of like 100. It wasn't obviously a rookie card or anything like that, but I think it was a card from the 90s. And he was like, "I need this card. Like, I want the Gretzky." And he was like, "How much, let's make a deal. Let's try, I want the Gretzky." And the guy was like, "I don't know." He's like, this card means so much to me. I don't think I could sell it." And he was like, "No, come on, there's a number." He was like, "I know there's a number we can get to." And basically he was like, "I can't sell it for, if I was going to sell it, it can't go for under this one." And he was like, "We're close. Let's make a deal. I know you want it, it's a lot of money. I know you want to buy, like sell this card." And I mean, you could tell this guy did not want to sell this Gretzky, but he just kept throwing numbers. He's like, "I know we'll get there." And they came up with it and he went, and they shook hands. And I was like, oh man, I'm just like sitting here going like, this guy, like he doesn't want, and there's a number out there. There is a number out there. There's a price out there that no matter what card you have in your collection, if somebody says it, you're going to sell it. Like, and that's what it is. And that's what the hobby's all about. And, it's kind of this whole just wheeling and dealing. Like you just see these guys in there, but I don't know if that's the correct approach. Like, is that the correct approach for us? Is that the correct approach for, an upcoming hobbyist who's watching Roth cards who like, I mean, financially, like they might be more financially stable than somebody else. It's kind of tough, but like, I mean, for you approaching the hobby, from what you saw in 2020 to what you see right now, what do you think the best strategy is when approaching cards? When you're looking on eBay or you're at a card show, like what is your strategic plan in order to get the best value, but also set yourself up for potential success?
God, such a tough question.
I know. Putting you on the spot, man.
Yeah. Compared to 2020,
I mean, it's tough. 2020, you could buy any card.
Yeah,
you could buy any card, any box, and you were going to make money off of it.
Exactly. But still, my approach to cards has changed drastically. Like, you guys, all of you like to pretend that I'm some sort of like cards genius or like I know what the hell I'm doing. But 99%
we have a lot of trust in you, man.
Yeah, exactly. Not good. Because when we first started Jelly Cards, modern cards was kind of new to me too. But I would spend so much time like researching, watching videos, looking up like sold prices on Topps Chrome, looking up sold prices on Topps versus Bowman versus first Bowmans, all that stuff. and I like was dead set on us buying first Bowman mega boxes, because at the time the Jelly Cards, I think, directive was we want to buy cards that we can rip because ripping is fun.
Yep.
And we need to find the best value that we can find in those cards so that we can sell them and not kind of lose our asses on everything. And we settled on Bowman mega boxes, and I fell in love with Bowman mega boxes.
They're so much fun, man.
I know. I still love them.
I would love to go back and there's a hobby shop. I can't remember if it's Steel City Collectibles. Somebody's got 2020 mega boxes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like if we could go back, I would have bought. We should have bought like 500.
We should have bought cases, man. We should have bought cases.
Yeah, so
we could have bought like 3 cases at that time,
at least. So we started at that. We started with like a pretty low budget. We just kind of, I guess, playing in single A, if you want to call it that, if I can use that analogy. We started
like low A.
Yeah, low A. And now we move up to A, double A. I feel like we're maybe stuck in double A currently. But
yeah,
my approach to the hobby has changed in that I like to compartmentalize it. Like, if I'm trying to do cards to make money, I want that to be a Jelly purchase, because I want any card that I buy to make money to be some sort of benefit for the Jelly Cards business. Like, if we want Jelly Cards as bad as I want Jelly Cards to be my life, I need to be more serious about buying certain cards, certain packs, certain boxes, buying into certain breaks of certain players to make sure, or at least give myself the greatest opportunity to make money on that card. People are going to probably listen to that and think that, like, oh, these guys are just all in it for the money. When it comes to running the business, unfortunately, we are. I have to be. So that's why I try to compartmentalize all of my cards purchases that are related to Jelly Cards. I have to make sure that either I can break even, lose maybe 5 to 10%, but ideally and most likely make 20 to 30%. Like Eric has said in the chat before, if you can make 30% on the card sale, that's good. That's great for business. I know people think that's nothing. And when it comes to like a $20 card, you sell a $20 card for $26. No, yeah, $26. You just made 30%. But still, that's my approach when it comes to Jelly Cards. I don't buy anything for Jelly Cards that I don't think will do well. And I want this to be on the record for you guys. I trust that whatever you buy, it's with that same mindset. And if it fails and if it loses money, I don't care. I know that at least we tried, and we can use. I mean,
within reason, of course. We're not sitting here buying. You know what I mean? Like, we're not sitting here just like shooting from the hip on cards. Like, I feel as if we are being very strategic, and that's why I get really upset when Eric and Luke sit back and they're like, we don't know anything. Like, that's false. You know sports.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Take away the card aspect of it. Take away the strategic plan of, like, what numbered refractor I should be buying into. You know sports. You know players. You know who plays well. If you want to eliminate risk, like I was talking about earlier, and I said that to Eric in the chat, if you want to eliminate risk, stick to what you know.
Exactly.
Stick to the players you know. And like we were talking about with King of Cards and Roth Cards, stick to who you know is hyped up in the media, who's got great talent, and stick to the card players that you think their cards are going to sell. And like I said, that's Jaden right now. You're talking Caleb Williams, obviously any LeBron card, any Mahomes card right now, Josh Allen. These are the type of players, Curry. And here's the thing about it. And if you watch a lot of their videos and you see it, it's no longer rookie cards anymore that are going to make you money. And I think that's another thing too, that I think we kind of get stuck in this, always look at rookie cards. There are plenty of 2024, 2023 Patrick Mahomes cards that if they're numbered out of 100 refractor, PSA 10, it's going to make you money, man. You're going to be able to sell that. I'm talking Jaden Daniels second year cards, Caleb Williams second year cards. Like, don't instantly just be it's not a rookie card. I'm not going to look at that. I'm sure people buy up Josh Allen from, from non-rookie years. LeBron, another one. People just buy up whatever LeBron card that they can get. If it's LeBron numbered, it don't matter what year it is. If it's got a 10 grade, if it's got a PSA 10 on it. So, I mean, I don't know how you feel about buying cards that are not rookie cards. Because obviously, Junk Wax era, it was okay to buy a Tony Gwynn card that wasn't his rookie year. If you're buying into a late 80s Tony Gwynn, that could still make you a lot of money. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how you currently feel about how the hobby is right now and how you feel about approaching not buying rookie cards versus, 6 years down the line. But
Yeah, I think everything you said is wonderful and great, and I agree with everything. No matter what the card is, like second year, third year, fourth year, if it's rare, you've got something. You've got something on your hands that nobody else has.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to get at when I was talking about compartmentalizing, whatever the hell the word is now. I don't even know. When I approach jelly cards, I do it to make money. But when it comes to John's personal purchases, it's mostly collecting. And I don't care if it's a third year Mitch or it's a second year Nico or it's a fourth year who the hell knows. I want that card. And that's what you got to realize when you're approaching the hobby as like a, I don't know, investor, which kind of triggers people. You are when you
don't
buy
say the word invest.
Yeah.
Because it's only crypto, stocks, and gold that you can invest in. Nothing else. Don't say invest.
Don't even look at the cards.
No.
Yeah. So when you are buying a card, when you buy that card and you try to sell it, you're not only selling to other people who are trying to flip and invest in cards, you're also selling to collectors.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that Roth Cards and King of Cards and Card Collector 2, that the reason that they buy these cards is because that they know, hey, even though this is a fourth year LeBron card, it's still LeBron James. And there are plenty of LeBron James collectors out there who don't have this card and they want it and I have it and I can sell it to them. Mm-hmm. And that's how you got to approach things. And that ties into what I was trying to get at too. Like when it was Jelly Cards, when Jelly Cards first formed, I was like, first Bowman's only. I'm only looking at first Bowman's. I'm not going to look at anything else. And then I jumped to Topps Chrome, and then I jumped to freaking Prism, and then I jumped to Optic. All of these things were new to me when we first started Jelly, because as some people may know, strictly vintage. I never bought a modern card in my life until we started Jelly. But now that you see these markets growing, you see people wanting to buy kabooms, you see people loving the downtowns, freaking any sort of RPAs like gold, everyone wants it. You kind of grow in that aspect of the hobby. We were strictly Bowman. We tried to stay in one niche, but now that like I guess things have changed and I'm trying to be more I hate saying money driven, but I'm trying to be more business minded. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, business minded is.
I'm trying to make sure that we can buy any card that will make money so that Jelly Cards can grow. And to answer the question completely, I love it. I love if somebody like texts the group chat, hey, I just found this out of 99. I don't know who, freaking
Shohei
Bobby Witt
Ohtani.
Jr. Yeah, Shohei, Bobby Witt. I think it's a good deal. I'm going to buy it. I think it's going to go up. Be like, go for it, man. I don't care. Hell yeah. Buy more. If they have 3, get all 3. And that's why I want all of you guys to just like, and back to what you said, kind of Eric and Luke and even me sometimes, I feel like I don't know what the hell I'm doing or I'm going to get it wrong. If you don't want to do sports, Luke and Eric, I think, are pretty great Pokemon investors, and they know they know Luke for sure knows the WOTC sets way better than I do. He knows like certain Pokemon that will probably be sought after, or he knows, I'm assuming, which card has a low pop of PSA because I think he's trying to build his registry.
Yeah.
All that, like, it doesn't have to be just sports, and that's the beauty of having us four. If somebody doesn't want to do sports, go ahead, go buy Pokemon. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you think that it will make money, go for it. So, yeah, man, second year, third year, fourth year, doesn't matter to me. But how do you feel about it? Because, I mean, how often are you going on eBay and looking at like...
No, I'm not. I'm not.
always searching rookie PSA 10.
Everything is a rookie. search for me, and that's why when I watch his videos and I just look at myself and I'm going, man, am I doing this all wrong? Like, am I, because here's like we've said many times in this podcast, the ultimate goal, at least for me, and I'm telling you, I am telling you, this is what I want. Like, I'm telling you right now. Like it's not a joke. It's not like some, crazy pipe dream. It's not just some, lay in the bed and just, hope and pray. Like, I am telling you, I think we can do this. And I really want, and I really hope and want the three of you guys to have that same passion that I do, because I'm telling you, I think, four heads is better than one when it comes to this. But like, I look at this and I go, man, like maybe I should look at, some, third, fourth year Otani card that if it's numbered out of like 150, I shouldn't just be like,
Yeah.
oh, but it's not a rookie card.
Right. Right.
But if it's a blue refractor numbered out of 150 and it looks gem worthy, yeah, maybe I could buy it up. Like, what if that card's $100 raw, but PSA 10 is selling for $500?
Damn.
Yeah, like because
Quadruple
here's the
that money.
thing. Because here's the thing about it, and I said this with Eric in the last episode. Players like Otani, players like Judge and Mahomes, and probably even Josh Allen, LeBron, they're all almost unattainable now. At least for us. They're like unattainable. We're not going to be buying rookie cards of LeBron James. We're not going to be touching, rookie cards of Aaron Judge or, Patrick Mahomes. But second year, third year, fourth year cards that are, of some rarity from the set. I mean, I'm not saying go out and buy, the most rare Allen and Ginter, Aaron Judge card. But if you're ripping Topps Chrome and you just so happen to pull a refractor of Aaron Judge, not bad, right?
Right.
That's not a bad one. We sold that one. I remember I was flipping through our boxes and we had it. It was paper, but we had that paper gold numbered out of 50 Shohei Otani
Yeah.
that we sold for $80.
Paper.
Paper gold out of 50, not a rookie. I think it was, I don't know, like 2021 or 2022, whatever the set was. And we sold it for $80. We should have got it graded. We should have graded it. But yeah, I think, it's going to be hard to not, like you said, to not sit back and go, I think I'm making mistakes here. Like, I don't think this is good, good buy, or, I just can't, it's at a loss right now. I can't sell the card. But, for me personally, if I buy a card and like, I feel the same way, I should not be buying cards with the intent of trying to sell it for money. And it's my own money. Like, and it's not going to be a business purchase. Like, I just personally think I shouldn't be doing that. And I do all the time.
I do it all the time. Yep.
But I like the approach that we are having this year with Jelly, that I think we are making a lot of better choices. Like, again, too, in the past, we were always just, God, we got to have Bowman draft. We got to get Bowman draft. But then it was, okay, grade these, these prospect cards and then just let them sit.
Yeah.
Let them sit until they're called up. But then next thing you know, this, player's got an ETA of 2028.
Right.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what's going to happen in the next 3 years for this player, I just think it's, I think a lot of it is focus on the players that are going to sell. If it's baseball, look at that top 100 list and find those, those top 10 prospects. And if you can afford it, go for it, or if it's basketball, it's not bad to, find some lower, level rookies and hope that they're going to play up to, expectations. But I don't know if you can necessarily just focus on that without doing the other. I think you need a good balance of those high valued cards and those high valued players, with also a balance of finding those diamonds in the roughs, those players that, people are not necessarily looking at right now, but there is massive potential for them in the future.
Completely agree.
So.
And I think most importantly, the wheel needs to keep turning. Like, we can't just, like you just said,
you got to be selling.
Yeah, we can't just
you
buy
can't
things
just
and
be
be stagnant.
buy. That's another problem that I think we currently have as a business is We buy way more than we sell.
Yeah.
And we always have these back and forth discussions in the chat about, that's not what the plan was, though. But it's just like, oh my God, the plan's not working. Like, the plan isn't working, okay? So, and yeah, you can't just, like you said, you can't be you can't be worried about taking a loss. It's gonna happen. If you went into this hobby and you made money off of every card you bought, you should
You're
be buying in
yeah,
stocks and,
right.
and
You're a
something else.
genius.
Yeah,
You should be
you sh-
buying lotto tickets every day.
you should, because if you know every card that you buy is gonna make you money, then don't do cards. Do way something way better.
But how do
Like,
you? I never asked you. How do you feel about our growth and your personal growth when it comes to the hobby, like and
I think,
and our
yeah,
approach is jelly.
I think, I think the one thing that we have a bad tendency of doing is, I think we get stuck in, this is what the plan was. Like I was just saying, like, this is what the plan is. We can't break away from the plan. That's not the plan, though. I see it I read it in the chat all the time. Yeah, but that wasn't the plan. It's okay to veer off and try something else and, kind of experiment a little bit, but as long as you're not like kind of hurting yourself or hurting the business, right? I think we've grown a lot as a company. I think just overall, even just with like social media stuff, I think we are improving ourselves and setting ourselves up for success in the future. And it's just, I think one day we're gonna hit, like, it's gonna happen. And I think it can happen for a lot of people in this hobby. One day, it's, I'm sure Roth cards didn't just, start from, 20 or however many followers they have on, or subscribers on YouTube. They didn't just make their YouTube account and then all of a sudden they got 20,000 people following them,
Exactly.
or like, like Slab Mania or anybody, like, Mars cards, like, you gotta just, it's gonna take time. You gotta build up the following. It's gonna be rough. Me personally, as I feel, like, my knowledge has gotten a lot better of the hobby.
Exactly.
I have a better understanding of it, like what cards I could be looking at, what cards I shouldn't be looking at. Me, I just, I love to just hate on PSA, and I only look at SGC cards, but like, I know I really shouldn't be doing that in the long run. I understand PSA is king and I should be looking at, but that's my own just personal vendetta against, like, oh, stick it to the man, I'm gonna buy SGC and piss John off.
Yeah. Exactly. God.
I'm actually, one thing I have been doing is I have been looking a lot more at BGS.
Interesting.
And I'm only doing that because if I'm looking at a player from, I guess like pre like 2019, like, if I'm, when I was looking at like Manny Machado cards, like if I know like somebody's from like 2013 rookie card, I look at BGS because I know BGS was king at that time. So there's probably going to be a lot more cards and probably a lot of higher valued cards of theirs graded in BGS slabs versus PSA slabs. So that's kind of what I've been looking at a lot. If I'm looking at, yeah, like a player like a Manny Machado or, a Freddie Freeman or somebody, even though obviously there's still going to be cards graded with PSA, I think there's going to be numerous BGS slabs out there that are a little bit more attainable for me and affordable for me in my own price range. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Hell yeah. I agree with everything you said, especially the part about you
Except the
growing.
Beckett stuff.
Yeah, especially the SGC.
Hey, I know. And that's my own personal, that's my own just, like I
Vendetta.
said, stick it to the man. I'm going SGC.
Yeah, man. I agree with everything you said, and especially the growing part. All of us have grown in the hobby, whether we like to admit it or not. Especially Luke and Eric, they're like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing." Not true. I'm sure that Luke's knowledge, Eric's knowledge, your knowledge, my knowledge of especially sports cards compared to where it was in 2020, like light years away. You guys barely even looked at sports cards in 2020 before we started Jelly Cards.
Yeah.
Probably never even looked at sports cards since, like, who knows, 1999. It was just Pokemon
Not
and
since
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I was a kid.
Yeah,
it
man.
was. Yeah, it was just Pokemon cards.
So I'm with you. I hate Like, I understand that it's difficult. I understand that it's going to be a lot of work. I understand it's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be a lot of commitment. I get that, and I accept it, but I don't want it to be like the leading excuse to not try.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm speaking for everybody here, including myself. Like, there's no reason that I should not be trying to buy a card that I think will make Jelly Cards a good amount of money. Just because it's like, what, just because I'm worried that it'll lose money. That if the goal here for Jelly Cards is to eventually own a shop, or the goal for anybody in the hobby is to eventually own a shop, you need to start buying and selling more cards. And you need to start buying and selling more cards with the anticipation that you could lose some money on one or two or even 3, 5, 10 of those cards. It's just part of the process. It's just part of the learning process. And using the excuse that, like, oh, these other thousands of other people are already breaking. I don't want to be a breaker. There's thousands of other people already doing YouTube content. I can't make any content. Nobody's going to watch. That's a dumb excuse. It's a lazy excuse. In my opinion, like Jason said, all these people didn't just put one YouTube video out and all of a sudden they have thousands of followers. No,
Yeah.
they had to do multiple YouTube videos, multiple content, multiple card purchases, multiple card sales every single day until you get the traction and the, I guess, hype / coverage that you want to just switch from our full-time jobs into cards as a living. And I think that's the biggest hurdle for everybody, not only all of us Jelly Cards, but people out in the hobby. Like, it's called the hobby for a reason, because people have jobs that they use to make money and then put that money into their hobby, which is cards, so that they can collect and also buy / sell. However, like we do at Jelly Cards, there's a certain amount of money that you can allocate towards the hobby. You can allocate, I don't know if you want to get, I don't know what people's budget is, but let's say you're allocating $5,000 a year to cards. When it comes to Jelly Cards, let's say all of us are putting in 10K. Let's say we put $40,000 into cards. Our goal as somebody who wants to grow in the hobby should be to turn that $40,000 into 50,000, into 60,000. Like, and then once you have that $20,000 profit for the year, you now have 60K to operate the next year. And you need to turn that 60K into 80K or into 100K. And then you have 100K for the following year. You turn that 100K into 150K. And you just kind of keep the ball rolling until it gets to the point where everybody here can be like, hey, we are pretty comfortable here. I think we can, maybe not all of us can, I understand, but maybe one or two of us can take the leap, take the sacrifice, like leave our, I guess, take a hiatus or whatever it's called, leave your job.
I'll do it.
Hey, yeah, I'm Jason, 100%. Like, if we got to the point where we had enough money to pay your salary for a year, I'd be like, listen, Jason, it's yours. Like, do what needs to be done. Like, one or two of us needs to get the ball rolling, and then once the things are all set, we can all kind of...
John, it's all gone, man. All the money's gone.
Where is it? I don't know. I went to the casino. I put it all on red. But yeah, man, it's like there's plenty of excuses in the way of everybody in the hobby, especially including us at Jelly Cards, including me personally. Plenty of them. But it shouldn't hinder your path. Like, it shouldn't be like, I've hit my excuse, I'm going to stop. And I feel like I get like that sometimes. The group chat gets like that a lot of times. But I don't know, man. I don't want to keep doing my regular day job every single day for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man.
I don't even want to do it tomorrow. I don't want to go tomorrow.
Like, this is what I look forward to. I look forward to leaving work, rushing home, showering real quick, and then sitting down and be able to talk hobby with my best friend.
Yeah. The four, I don't know, maybe it was with Haley. The four of us, in my opinion, is like gold. Like, we have a very rare thing in the hobby. Roth Cards is by himself, I think.
He's got other people that that help him out and stuff. But King of Cards, he's doing it by himself.
Yeah, he's just him. It's just him and like his
Probably,
videographer,
yeah.
editor, whatever. It's just him. There's other people out there who do it by themselves. And
Yep.
that's tough. That's really tough because you have nobody else to lean on. But we have the four of us, and I think we should start taking advantage of it. But
Look
yeah,
at
man.
Nash Cards, man. I think
Yeah.
he's opening
He's opening
another
up another
store.
shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what I want.
3 or 4 shops?
Yeah. I want to open up multiple shops too. Could you imagine how fun that would be?
I just want one.
Yeah, one shop.
I
would be
just
nice.
want one shop. It doesn't even need to be that big. You know what? And I talk about this all the time. The shop in Milwaukee that we went to that one time, the older gentleman that we spoke to. That's all I need, man.
Yeah. It was like what, 100 square feet, maybe 200.
Maybe.
Yeah.
My bedroom's probably bigger than
Yeah, exactly.
or that's probably his shop was probably as big as my bedroom.
That's all you need.
That's all you need, man. And he was just this older gentleman. He had wax on there. He had some cards and he had 2 display cases maybe with some cards in it. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
That is all I need. Okay? It's all I need. I don't care. I don't care if we're shoulder to shoulder. Just I don't care.
Open the
I don't
register.
care.
Get the register.
Hey, you know what? That's all I need with a TV up there. And I put some old home run derbies on, man.
Yeah, a cup of coffee,
do
too.
you know how much I think about this? Like I'm like when I asked that question in the chat, I'm not joking.
I know, Jason.
I am not joking. And I feel like sometimes it's not taken seriously, but I'm telling you.
I take it seriously.
I'm telling you.
Mostly for you. I want you to know that. Even though you hate me. I'm like, I need to make money so that Jason can quit his job. That's what my goal is in the Jelly Cards group chat. And I take it seriously too, because I know how passionate you are about it. And I also know that it's my fault that you are so passionate about cards. So
It is your fault.
I can't let my crushed dreams become a collective crushed dream. All of us need to open up a shop, and if I don't open up a shop by the time I'm dead, I'm gonna die a sad person. I want that on the record. I want to have my own card shop before I pass away.
Man, it doesn't even need to be big.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. But I just like I said, man, we need to be more serious. We need to be like, we're putting in this much amount of money per year. We need to make at least 30 to 50% of that. Like I said, let's pretend we put 40K in. We need to make 60K, which is a 50% increase, which is fantastic. If you want to call it 52K, we made 30%. That's also great. We need to do that. And we need to start stacking years so that we get to the point where it's like, okay, somebody or multiple people need to get this ball rolling. Let's take the leap. And then once we get super serious, then everybody else can leave their jobs and let's go do this.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to wake up every morning hoping that my building at work is like not enterable and I could go home. But yeah, man.
Yeah, and it's also too like you got to really focus on the not even just that, like the social media following. Now obviously we live in a day and age where social media it's very prominent in everybody's life, and everybody has a camera now. Everybody records everything, and again, like who cares? Who cares if everybody's recording? Because if you are creating content that is entertaining and that relates to people, there are plenty of other people out there who are going to listen to the Jelly Cards podcast, and they're going to be like, I relate to you. And now I'm going to sure there's, we are not the only sports card podcast on Apple or on Spotify. We're not the only people that are posting on YouTube or sending pictures. Everybody's doing it. But, if it comes down to the dedication, the time, the motivation that you have, that's ultimately going to separate you from other people. And hey, if somebody's doing better than you, that's kudos to you. I hope you continue to thrive because you're going to keep the hobby alive.
Exactly.
And you're going to allow us to be able to, who cares if how many hobby shops are out there? Who cares how many hobby shops are in Illinois?
Yeah.
We'll just go where they're not. We'll just hey, this city in Illinois doesn't have a shop, then we'll open up a shop here.
Hell yeah.
And we'll ride out in the sunset, man.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Very
yeah,
well said.
but I think that's a great spot to end. We're kind of getting a little personal here, man. That's what I'm saying. I like the episodes when we kind of just wing it. We speak from the heart. We want everybody listening to do well in this hobby, because that's ultimately what's going to keep us all happy. It's going to keep us allowing us to do what we love to do.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't even know how you can even wrap this up.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I guess final thoughts. This whole episode was just dedicated to, I guess, jelly cards, our growth in the hobby, the way we view the hobby now, how we've grown, how the hobby itself has changed over time. We started with our little eBay rant. I'm sure there's tons of people who are going to listen to that and agree. And if you don't, please try selling, I don't know, 50 cards on eBay. If all of them get paid for, then God bless you. I'm happy for you. Doesn't happen to me. So anyway, final thoughts. The point of this episode, like I said, was just basically to talk about the hobby. We as Jelly Cards entered the hobby collectively in 2020/2021, but we've been collectors since the late 90s, since we were little kids. I've been collecting sports cards, mostly vintage, since, God, maybe 2016? No, 2015, 2014. Like right after college, I started getting really into it, and I was strictly vintage. But now that the hobby has become a investment hobby, or people are in the hobby to kind of turn it into a living and kind of approach cards in a way where I can buy a card, I can grade a card, I can sell the card for money. Now that it's become that, we have also tried to adapt. And I know that there are more people out there like us. I know there's got to be people out there who have that same passion, that you go to work every day, you work hard for your money, you come home and you find joy in winning a card on eBay, and you find joy in joining a card break and hitting a massive card. And you also dream about opening up a card shop and making cards your everyday life. So if you're out there and you want to talk about stuff like that, by all means, reach out to us. We are Jelly Cards on Instagram and X, aka Twitter. Jelly Cards on YouTube. Jelly_cards on eBay, since we got some eBay listings going. Not really on Whatnot as much anymore, but also Jelly Cards, but especially the YouTube channel. Please go like and subscribe. You can listen to the Jelly Cards podcast on Apple and Spotify. If you enjoy the podcast or you want to just support us, please rate the podcast, follow the podcast. It would really make my day. But yeah, thank you, Jason.
No, thank you, man.
Yeah,
thank you.
Like we said early on, the very first 7 episodes of Jelly Cards podcast, I would write tons of notes. I would write notes on this. I would write notes on that. I would look up card prices. I'd be making sure I had the right most recent sales up. And then eventually we got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm comfortable now. I can kind of wing it. And those usually end up being my favorite episodes. So this was a good episode. I don't know when you're going to put it up, because this guy over here has a birthday this week. So happy birthday, Jason.
Thank you.
Sorry that you're getting old. It
will actually go up on my birthday.
Oh, hell yeah.
It'll go up on
happy
the morning
birthday,
of my
Jason.
birthday.
Everybody who listens to the podcast, for the love of God, message Jelly Cards. Say happy birthday, Jason. Otherwise, we got serious problems. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I hope we have an amazing week and an amazing weekend ahead. I hope that in the future, all of us can chill at the Jelly Cards card shop, have a cup of coffee,
your free coffee,
watch some home run derby replays with Jason, make us all happy, talk cards, talk sports, talk life. That's what it's all about for us. So thank you, everyone. And as always, keep spreading the love of the hobby from your friends at Jelly Cards.